Jai Hind, boys and girls. Continuing with the series of introducing you to various officers, the retired officers, the senior officers of Indian Air Force. I have one extraordinary officer from the fighter stream of the Indian Air Force. He is now retired Group Captain Santosh Ebenezer, Shaurya Chakra. He is a wonderful person, a very close friend of mine and very dear to me. He is exceptional in many senses. As a human being, he is such a loving guy. He has accomplished so much in his life and is still down to earth. So I keep highlighting these characteristics which I want you all, the boys and girls who are growing, to take a tip from this. Despite all the accomplishments that he has, he still remains grounded and a very sweet person at that. Always helpful, always forthcoming. Okay, now that is the takeaway from such officers. And just to tell about him, Ebenezer, Group Captain Ebenezer. We call him lovingly Santo. You know, in his corners, the nicknames keep coming up. If I am Anurag, I become Anu, and he was Santo. So Santo has had in fighter flying 3,200 hours of fighter flying he has done. He has flown aeroplanes from Kirans, Iskaras, MiG-21s, MiG-23s, MiG-27s, and eventually Su-30. He left the service a little early, and now he is flying for Air Asia. He is flying Airbus 320. He has been an alumni of TACD, as I told you. It is Tactical Air Combat Development Establishment as a fighter strike leader. He has also been a QFI, the Qualified Flying Instructor. He has also done his alumni of DSSC, done his staff college. And during the Kargil war, he operated from Adampur, and they used to fly across. One special thing that I wish to mention about Santo, that is, as he would mention in his video, but I must tell you what he did. One of his feats, when he was doing a dusk flying, and let me tell you that you must try to extricate some, some character from this kind of decision making that he did. He was flying, he did a dusk flying in, which aeroplane was that? I think it was a MiG-21, Type 77 aeroplane. He did a belly landing because the undercarriage, you understand the undercarriage, the wheels of the aeroplane didn't come down while he was coming in to land. So how does he land? So he went around the airfield, and he kept on trying to put his undercarriage down. He inverted his aeroplane and reversed it and all those things he did, but it wouldn't come out. So eventually the fuel also came down, and here is Santo going around the Chabua airfield, and he has to land. He has no fuel, and it is dusk time, the visibility is very less. And the air traffic control, the flight safety officer there, he says, Santo, you have to eject. Ejection is the next option, the best option, I guess, to leave the aeroplane, and so be it. So here is Santo. Now he has to decide. You see the fighter pilot, what he has to decide. He is alone in the aircraft, and he still has the grit, the gumption, and he decides to hold on the aeroplane, which is roughly maybe 50 crores of the government money, and he makes a belly landing. What a fantastic, skillful fighter pilot he is. And he lands safely, the aeroplane is saved, the pilot is saved. What a fantastic feat. He eventually gets Shaurya Chakra for this. I asked him, what did you do after landing? He says, after landing in the squadron, the whole night they drank. So this is how it goes. Now, without much ado, I'll request Santo to enlighten us with his words of wisdom about the fighter flying in the Indian Air Force. Over to Santo.
Hi, Anurag Sir. It's great to hear from you. And it's excellent that you're taking this yeoman job of grooming these young boys and girls for their defense dreams in the Doon Indian Defence Academy. I understand that DIDA is a premier training institute for defense aspirants. And you, among the others, at the helm of affairs, would definitely ensure that the aspirants get the right grooming. Your experience, attitude, and your instructional abilities will immensely benefit these young future defense officers. So, I'm sure on that. As per your request, here is my insight into being a fighter pilot. We do join the Air Force Academy either after passing out of ND or graduate or AFCAT, and those are things that you guys know best as it is the present norms, and you should be knowing the processes. Once you get into the Air Force Academy as a young rookie pilot, we train for a year, and thereafter we pass out or we trifurcate between the helicopters, the transports, and the fighters. The fighter pilots, we definitely go towards our training institute and train for a year to just handle the aircraft and be a rookie pilot or be a rookie fighter pilot. And once we have finished that 1 year training in this training establishment, we are fed to the frontline fighter squadrons. And that's where the journey starts. You start getting to fly the Sukhois, the Jaguars, the Mirages, the Rafales now. And you train initially, become a rookie pilot of handling the aircraft first. And once you're sort of conversant within around 2 to 3 years, you sort of become a 2 aircraft leader. Thereafter, you graduate and you start leading 4 aircrafts and multiple formations. You become a trainer captain. And once you're on 5 to 6 years of service, you sort of have a mental maturity to become a instructor or a fighter combat leader or fighter strike leader, which is in TACD. Thereafter, you graduate. Once you come back to the fighter squadron, you become a flight commander. And thereafter, you become the commanding officer of the fighter squadron, which is the dream of any fighter pilot. I was fortunate to command 22 Squadron or the Swifts during my Air Force growth. We have grown a lot in the Indian Air Force from the first generation fighters which were there just post the independence to the state-of-the-art fifth generation fighters at the moment, like the Rafales, the Sukhois, etc. And it's a very highly modern aircraft, modern inventory, and the future is only going to get better. I think if you look at the aircraft per se, we are at par or better, or reaching the levels like how the Western Air Forces are. We are very good in our skills. I was fortunate to go to the United States of America and to France, and we did some bilateral exercises where we took our fighters over there and we fought against their fighters. And man, the Indian pilots, we had the skills, we had the airmanship which was par in excellence, which even the French Air Force, the US Air Force, the Singapore Air Force, the UAE Air Force, all acknowledge the facts. And we have that bandwidth. The Air Force is very professional, and they recognize talents, they recognize professionalism, they recognize integrity. And if you're doing well, you definitely would be rewarded. And I was rewarded by the President of the Indian Republic by being awarded the Shaurya Chakra. Anurag Sir will definitely tell you the story once you guys join the academy, or once if you're in the academy, or you can Google my name and you can see what exactly is the reason of it. But I would just like to put across that if you're passionate about your profession, the Air Force, and if you're passionate about flying, then there's no other better profession than getting into the Indian Air Force. So my advice is, I wish all of you dream big, dream high, and work towards it to make it happen. It'll definitely be your profession which you would never ever feel bad about. You would only thoroughly cherish it and enjoy it. Best wishes to DIDA, Dehradun, and happy learnings to all you guys, or all you young aspirants. and I'm sure you guys will do extremely well. See you, sir, and all the best.